Tonight on Cronkite News, some possible good news for Swifties. A new Arizona bill is going after ticket bots and resellers, what this means for future events.
Plus, one of ASU basketball's biggest defenders this season. Find out who is behind more than 50 steals for the Sun Devils while garnering national attention.
And retirement is something many people look forward to. However, not everyone has retirement funds. We take a look at the communities that are impacted most by lack of financial literacy and retirement options. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Lauren Avenatti.
And I'm Jonah Krell. Thank you for joining us.
The Arizona Board of Regents held a special meeting today in Tempe. On the agenda, the University of Arizona's financial crisis and what that means not just for the future of the university, but the athletic department.
Yeah, Lauren, of the $140 million shortfall the school faces, the athletic department is responsible for $35 million. But as Ana de la Cruz reports from Tempe, there are no serious budget cuts for now, only careful planning.
The University of Arizona is probably having one of their best years for sports, but it comes at an unusual time for the university as they are going through a huge financial crisis.
They had overspent their budget in fiscal 23 and late last fall. The immediate first steps we needed to do was to slow spending, and President Robbins presented a plan in December that we have fully implemented. That plan included a hiring freeze, procurement restrictions, travel restrictions, and some other steps that we've put in place that we believe will slow spending over the next 6 months.
On another side of business, the University of Arizona just signed head football coach Brent Brennan, and Northern Arizona University just extended their head football coach Brian Wright. In Tempe, Ana de la Cruz, Cronkite News.
On Tuesday, an Arizona House of Representatives committee voted on a new bill to protect ticket buyers.
The bill stems from the controversy surrounding Taylor Swift concert tickets at State Farm Stadium. Cronkite News reporter Jack Bartlett went to the state legislature for more insight on the congressional hearing. He joins us now in the newsroom.
With a goal to ban bots from buying tickets to events. This comes after ticketing companies saw the rate of bots used to purchase tickets skyrocket. Those bots buy bulk tickets to public venues and sell them at a significantly higher rate, but are often unusable. Politicians are now wanting to protect the consumer.
The bill originated from an article that I read about Taylor Swift, how this had happened to one of her concerts where, I don't know how to say it, but the fans got fleeced for a lot of money. There was even one lady that said she almost put it on her credit card for like $4,000 or $5,000 to purchase a ticket for her and her daughter to go to Taylor Swift. And so as I read more about it, I learned more about it, and it's just something that Arizona needs to stand up, the legislature needs to stand up and protect Arizonans today.
A StubHub representative spoke out against the bill, citing less competition will inevitably cause greater control of the market for specific companies. He also noted that StubHub has had a positive effect on the state of Arizona, and this bill will only harm that effect and the company as a whole.
In 2023, StubHub brought roughly 100,000 people to Arizona. Customers from all 50 states have used our marketplace to find tickets to events in Arizona. And admittedly, the live event ecosystem is not without challenges, which is why we support the conceptual efforts of House Bill 2040 to improve that ecosystem. However, instead of creating more competition and protecting consumers, House Bill 2040 will only concentrate that control in the hands of teams, venues, artists, primary ticketing companies.
With bipartisan support, it seems that it is hopeful that the bill will become a law. In the newsroom, Jack Bartlett, Cronkite News.
ASU guard Frankie Collins has become a man of steel for the Sun Devils this season, turning heads on a national level. That defensive contribution is becoming a staple of ASU's defensive identity. Collins has broken down the art of stealing the basketball to a science. Collins has been one of the best defenders in the country. He currently sits at third in the nation in steals with 3.1 steals per game. That's over double of what he did last season. Collins attributes this leap to his preparation and his growing maturity.
Watching film and just understanding team schemes and, players, rhythm dribbles and things like that. I've been playing defense my whole life, but it's just now that I'm older and maturing and, I'm in better shape, so it's allowed me to be out there for more minutes and allowed me to play hard for the whole time I'm out there.
Frankie announced on Twitter yesterday that he will donate $20 to an elementary school in his hometown, Sacramento, California, for every steal he gets for the 2023-24 season.
It It was another chippy game between the Suns and Mavericks last night in Dallas. Luka Doncic got into it with a Suns fan who was ejected from the stands in the third quarter. Apparently, the fan yelled that Doncic looked tired and needed to get on the treadmill. The Mavericks superstar also got into it with reporters after the game. There's been a history of tension between these two teams since the 2022 NBA playoffs, and there were 7 technical fouls called in this game. But the Suns didn't let it distract them as they won decisively 132-109.
Now, if you remember, the Suns changed how they broadcast games to over-the-air before the season, but a hot topic lately has been the growing use of streaming services in sports.
Yes, and it was up for discussion at a recent Arizona Business Journal event in Scottsdale. Cronkite News reporter Ben Yates joins us now from the newsroom with more on sports and technology.
Ben, there was a lot of controversy recently with the NFL streaming a playoff game on the Peacock network. Is this a growing trend?
Yeah, football fans weren't too happy to have to pay for a new platform to watch the Chiefs and Dolphins game wildcard game a couple weeks ago. But streaming games is here to stay, and fans can expect more of it. At the Arizona Business Journal conference, league executives addressed the need for more streaming and the frustration it could bring fans.
I think what's happened the last 3 or 4 years is there were so many options between Netflix, Hulu, where to watch that the consumer was confused. The Peacock game, my grandma FaceTimed me saying I can't get the game. We never got it after an hour. But if you can't explain in one click how to get something, you're not going to get there.
Phoenix Suns and Mercury CEO Josh Bartelstein is working to simplify access to streaming content for fans by offering QR codes on social media to the game instantly, which shifts to the next problem. Where do fans want to engage with sports? These executives say they need to offer content on streaming platforms and social media to engage the younger audiences.
Josh knows this. I have a 15-year-old who is a die-hard basketball fan, right? I can't get him to watch an entire game, but he will tell you he is more, I think he can name the 12th man on the Phoenix Suns bench, right? Why? Because they're getting it how they want to get it.
But the number one reason why teams are trending towards streaming services and alternate platforms for their games and content is the revenue it generates.
You'll be watching on your screen in a totally different manner that attracts the different generation that you're going for. That is so exciting, and that is, over time, as we catch up, what I think is going to solve the revenue bump that we might have right now with that direct revenue stream. I think indirect revenue streams, we're seeing positives. Or we can just go to the World Series. That'll solve it too.
So like Colin said, where we have the opportunity from a NASCAR perspective is telling the story broader, and that's where we're leveraging Netflix. We will have a Netflix special that will come out here in a couple of weeks to tell the story behind what actually happens at NASCAR. Right now we're starting with drivers, and then it will be beyond the drivers, pit crews, tracks.
So sports teams view technology as a way to attract more audiences and bring in more money.
Ben, I know you're a big fan of basketball. I'm a big fan myself. What does this mean for fans?
Well, fans will have to embrace the new way to watch these games, and streaming is here to stay.
And I can't wait to tune into that NASCAR Netflix special.
Well, yeah, there's those specials on Netflix, but also the NBA has started featuring games on HBO Max, and I do have that. I've fell victim to it. There's a learning curve, but the future is here.
Thanks, Ben. Coming up next, Arizona lawmakers want to crack down on child sex traffickers. We'll take a look at some new legislation that could make Arizona one of the toughest in the country when it comes to punishing traffickers.
Opportunities to cover a variety of topics, from music.
This is Sun City Garage.
To sports coverage.
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news.
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
And entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing. There's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
This is CN2 Go. I'm Emily Olson with your Wednesday news briefing.
Do you want to create innovative content for Cronkite News? Do you enjoy listening to podcasts? Then CN2 Go is for you. Cronkite News to Go is a podcast where students cover the latest headlines. Students become audio producers and hosts and will learn how to write, record, and edit stories. You can listen to the latest episodes on these platforms.
Did you know newsrooms today are looking for bilingual journalists? Cronkite Noticias prepares you to cover diverse communities. In Cronkite Noticias, you will obtain an unforgettable experience.
Nopales como este van a tumbar.
Cronkite Noticias.
And develop your skills with the latest technology.
Welcome back to Cronkite News. I'm Jacob Jones with a look at the headlines from across Arizona. Arizona lawmakers want to strengthen the punishment for child sex traffickers. In a press conference today at the Capitol Republican lawmakers were joined by child advocates to support a bill which they say would raise the penalty for sex trafficking to life in prison without parole. The bill would create a ballot referendum and allow voters to decide whether to increase the penalties for child sex traffickers.
I don't care if you are a trusted adult holding a position in authority, such as a school teacher, a boys basketball coach, or a church summer counselor. Our minor children are not going to be for sale. You have to listen to us loud and clear. If you knowingly try to engage in sexual acts with minors in Arizona, you are going to jail for life.
Say the goal is to make Arizona the strictest state in the country when it comes to child sex crimes. It is also Environmental Day at the Capitol. Advocates and legislators met to discuss issues that impact our environment. We're told that more than 300 people showed up. One participant told us why it's so important to be there.
I think that just speaks to the fact that a lot of people in Arizona know and care about our environment.
Close to 33% of Arizona's population is Hispanic or Latino, shows census data. But not even half of Latinos save for retirement. Cronkite News reporter Adriana Gonzalez Chavez shares the kind of impact this has on the community.
In Arizona, Latinos have the third lowest average income, according to UCLA data collected in 2019. Factors like income, financial literacy, and culture around money harm the community's retirement plans.
We as Latinos, we don't really talk about money as much at the dinner table. We talk about money, how to make money or how to earn money, but for the day. But we don't really think about the value of money 5 years, 10 years, or 30 years from today.
Carlos Garcia created a financial app that specifically helps Latinos to change the culture around finances in their homes and make it more accessible. Almost a decade ago, Garcia founded the app FinHabits to help Spanish speakers learn how to invest and save money.
If you want to start with $20 or you want to start with $50, you could do that, but do it weekly or do it bi-weekly.
Less than half of non-retirees are very or somewhat confident they can retire as planned. And Hispanic Americans tend to be even less, according to data collected from the Teachers Insurance and Annuity Association of America. Olivia Mitchell is the director of the Pension Research Council at the University of Pennsylvania and says a significant factor in retirement disparities is financial illiteracy.
Across the set of very important financial decisions we make, financial literacy is really driving that.
Communities most impacted by lack of financial literacy or retirement options offered at work are often communities of color, Mitchell says. Teaching young children how to save money is important to enact change, she says. She taught her own daughters how to save money by paying them some money for doing chores at home.
And I found that it really focused my daughter's attention on how expensive something was and how much work it took to be able to purchase.
As of 2019, Arizona high schools required by law to teach personal finances. Other states that require financial education classes are Pennsylvania, Utah, Iowa. In the newsroom, Adriana Gonzalez Chavez, Cronkite News.
Former President Donald Trump was back in a New York courtroom today as his attorneys begin their defense in a defamation suit. Advice columnist E. Jean Carroll arrived in court this morning surrounded by the media. She's asking for $10 million in defamation damages from President Trump over comments he made about her in 2019. Carroll said that he sexually assaulted her and a previous jury agreed that it did happen. President Trump has denied any wrongdoing. And San Diego is drying off after severe flooding. Flash flooding in San Diego left cars submerged, roads blocked, and caused damage to homes. Residents say a settlement with the city in 2019 should have prevented this from happening. Volunteers and first responders are working to save pets and people affected. Back here in the valley, this weather has been rainy, but it might dry off in time for the weekend. Let's go to Anthony Remedios in the Weather Center.
Thanks, Jacob. Over the course of the next couple hours in and around Phoenix, partly cloudy skies are expected. And as you can see here, that will clear up sometime around 8 or 9 o'clock before settling to a cool 55 degrees. If you're driving to work in the lower deserts tomorrow morning, be careful out there on those roads and watch out for potential fog. By mid-afternoon tomorrow, clear skies are expected all throughout the state and continuing that way all through the weekend, as you can see here. The lows for tomorrow, looking ahead there, mid-40s in the valley, 51 in Yuma. If you're going a little bit farther south to Tucson, Tombstone, you're going to want to bundle up and stay warm and watch out for freezing temperatures in Douglas of 32 degrees. Looking at the highs for Friday, nice, comfortable, 68 degrees here in the valley, 72 degrees in Yuma. A great way to end the week, if you ask me, because as we look at the weekend, those mid-70s will begin as early as Saturday, continue that way through most of next week. And we won't really see that next meaningful rainfall until the end of next week. From the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Anthony Remedios. Back to you.
That's it for your news update. Back to you at the desk.
Jonah, do you think you can tell the difference between Tom Holland and Tom Hollander?
Well, Lauren, I think I can. I don't know about everyone else. After the break, we'll tell you about the expensive mix-up that both British actors faced.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
This is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news,
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
In Hollywood, there is Tom Holland, known for his role as Spider-Man, and Tom Hollander.
Yeah, Lauren, both are British, but there are 2 letters and a 28-year age difference between the 2 actors. Tom Hollander revealed while he was briefly at the same agency as the younger actor, he accidentally received the Spider-Man's box office bonus for the Avengers. Hollander joked that the 7-figure sum really brought him down a peg.
That's it for Cronkite News. Thank you for joining us.
And to see top Arizona stories anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.